Nathan, congratulations.
Thank you.
An emotional game for you. Just try and sum up how you're feeling right now.
It was a massive win for me. That it was probably one of the biggest wins of my career. Gary is a phenomenal dart player, great guy, and to beat him on the World Champion stage, you know, I'm absolutely over the moon. It was a grind. It was a battle. I could have been 2-0 down. But yeah, for me personally, that win was massive, and I'm so proud of myself that I composed myself at the end, and I took that winning double out, and yeah, I'm in the quarterfinals. Happy days.
I saw you drop down to your knees at the end. Was that just all the emotion outpouring at once, what you just achieved?
Yeah, it was. I think you've seen in the prior 2 games, I was giving it quite a lot on stage because that's when I play better. But I think it's shown the respect that Gary deserved tonight. I wasn't going to do that in Gary. Obviously, the talk of the Gezzy and Gary thing in the past, you know, I could have done that, but you know, Gary is a 2-time world champion. He deserves the respect, and you know, I wouldn't be that disrespectful to celebrate like that. But at the end, you know, I've kept it in, and to finally get that double at the end, because I had opportunities prior to that. To get that win at the end, it was just, it wasn't adrenaline, it was more relief and relief, and yeah, I was just so proud.
You touched on you could have been behind. It was quite a strange game to watch at times. Was it a strange game to play in as well? Because you were both scoring brilliant, and then you both missed big numbers and doubles, like both together. It was quite a strange one to watch at times.
It was. I think in the 5th leg in the 2nd set, I strung 2 legs together. I think 12-11 or something like that, and I started off pants, and I think he hit a 140 or 180 to get back in the leg, and he bust it, and it was a massive, like, right, come on, he gave you an opportunity, and I knew I would get opportunities throughout the game because, you know, Gary touches on lack of match practice. I knew I would get them opportunities, and it was down to me to take them, and you know, tonight I did take them opportunities.
You touched on knowing that Gary was short of match practice and you get opportunities. Was it a case of trying to drag him into deep waters somewhere where he hasn't been all year due to that?
I don't know about that, you know. I would have liked to win 3-0 every set, but I think, I don't know, I don't want to blow smoke up my own arse here, but I think he gave me a bit of, he knew that if he missed, I would take it out. And I think that's why the little bit of pressure came in. You know, don't get me wrong, I ain't no Michael Van Gerwen. I've not won a world championship yet, but I think he knows that if he missed, I would take it out, and that's when at crucial times he missed the odd double here and there, or the odd big number, and thankfully, you know, I was happy he did that.
Are you pleased as well that coming back here, you've gone deep just to prove that last year's Worlds wasn't a fluke?
Yeah, I've said it all year in my interviews. I didn't want to be a one-hit wonder. I didn't want people to go, Nathan had a good run because the draw opened up. You know, this year the draw hasn't opened up. You know, Danny Baggish, for me personally, probably one of the top 2 international qualifiers. Krzysztof Fatowski, multiple BDC winner. Gary Anderson. You know, I've now, you know, ADO Dimitri. So I'm proving to everyone that last year wasn't a fluke. I've won the UK since. I won the Vegas. You know. I'm not bad at this game, you know what I mean, so I just go out there, I enjoy every minute of it, and you know, to have my family with me as well, it means the world, and you know, who knows, 3 more games.
Nathan, pleasure mate, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nathan, how much did we see up on that stage this evening from what you learned from last year's run?
I think not so much this game, but I think the game prior, the Krzysztof game when I was 3-1 up, and 2 sets on the bounce, I was 1 leg away from winning. He won that set, and then I had arguably my best set of the match in the last set. I think I've learned to not worry, not panic. That's what Michael does. You know, that's why Michael is so successful. He never panics. How many times you see the guy go behind? He never panics, and that's what. You know, I think that's what I've learned from last year is, you know, you're never out of the game until they hit that final double and you've lost, and I keep myself composed, and I think that's the biggest attribute to my game over the last 12 months.
With all the sets obviously going to a deciding leg as well, was there extra pressure on pretty much every deciding leg?
Every set went to a deciding set?
I think all but the first, yeah.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, my heart was going. But, nah, you know, it was you just keep saying to yourself, you know, with the throw, just, you know, leave yourself a double after 12 or leave yourself a finish after 9. I didn't realise they was that close, to be fair, in the moment, but you know, I think again there I've shown my composure, and I've not let the pressure get to me in them situations.
Cheers, mate. You're obviously buzzing right now, but you know the man to beat is obviously MVG. I think we all agree there. You said earlier on, you know Michael van Gerwen, but do you believe that you could win this championship?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I know how good my game is. You know, I proved that this year. I proved it last year at the World Championships, and I think the difference this year is that people know that they can't underestimate me, and they've got to play well to beat me. So yeah, of course I can win this tournament, and I think someone's going to have to play really well to knock me out.
Just a quick word on playing against the likes of Gary Anderson. At some points, he seems super disgruntled. Such a big character. Obviously you said you had a lot of respect for him. Yeah. Does that intimidate you when you're on the hockey against him?
No. I'd never get intimidated. I had that last year with Gezzy. Gezzy just won the Grand Slam. He was 2-0 up against me, giving it everything. Didn't intimidate me. I gave it him back, and that's the kind of guy that I am. I go up there. I enjoy darts. I love playing darts. I love doing it for my family, and I've got to realise now that I'm one of them top boys. It's mental for me to take that in. Your battery's died.
No, it's fine. You've got it.
But yeah.
Keep going. That was good.
But yeah, we could carry on.
You're a top, you see yourself as a top boy now?
Yeah, definitely. I think the one thing I'm missing for me to class myself as one of them top boys is, putting me in that 9 or 10 or 8 or however many people is for the Premier League. No one knows, but I think if we win it, I'm in. You know what I mean? So I just want to play in the biggest stages of all, all over different cities, all over the country, and I just want to prove to everyone that I belong at the top.
7 of the top 10 have gone out already. Why is
have they really?
Yeah, top 10 players. Why is that?
It's rubbish. I just think that the depth in the darts now is ridiculous. You look at the players that have lost the Torquay this year, world champions, quality dart players. The standard now is through the roof. No one's scared of anyone, and I think that's credit to the PDC. How there's so many opportunities for us now, and I think just everyone's just putting the work in and putting the dedication in because we all want to be at the top.
Nate, does this feel a bit like a changing of the guard moment? Because like you say, last year people said, yeah, but the draw opened up for him. You've just knocked out a 2-time world champion who's been at the business end of this tournament pretty much every year for 5, 6, 7 years.
Since I started playing.
Yeah.
On the way up, I said to my manager Martin, I was like, I said last year, like you just touched on, everyone was saying it opened up for me. But that was credit to the guys that I played. That they knocked their C's out. It is what it is. But I knew if I beat Gary tonight, I think everyone's eyes would open and go, right, okay, this guy's good. This guy's here for the winning. And I think that's why it meant so much to me, because he's the biggest name that I've ever beat on, well, probably the biggest game I've ever beat on TV. And I think that's why it meant so much to me. And now I can kind of come down from that game and prepare for the next.
Do you feel you've got that respect of those top boys as you kind of describe them? Does it look like it up there? You put Gary under pressure rather than the other way?
I'd like to think so. I was practicing with, just pick this name up, I was practicing with Michael before the game, and for him to ask me to practice, even now it's surreal for me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking he must rate me because he wouldn't want to practice with someone pants before he plays, if you know what I mean. So I think they know that I'm a good player, and I think what it is, I think they see how much I want it, and that probably reminds Gary of him 20 years ago before he started fishing. And Michael's, he probably reminds me of him 10 years ago, and I do think they give me a bit of respect, but in the same same like I give them respect, because you know I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them guys. You know what I mean? So
when you came here 12 months ago, the story was obviously about kind of you got your card back. It was, you know, a real run out of nowhere. This year, I think a lot of people have seen you as a dark horse. Did you come here with your eyes on the title?
Yeah, I said that when I was out in Vegas. Every tournament I play in, I want to win. I'm hungry for money. I'm hungry for titles. I want to be the #1 in the world. I want what he's got, Michael. You know what I mean? I believe I'm as good as Michael. I believe I'm as good as Gezzy. Consistently, maybe not yet, but I will be. And I see what them guys are doing, and that's what I want. So, you know, the self-belief, the dedication, the hard work, the support from the family. You know, I'll get there.
And just a final one from me. When we kind of mentioned it a few times last year, I think, but that period where you had to kind of earn your card back, do you feel that underpins a lot of what's gone on over the last 12, 18 months?
It was a tough period for me, but again, I think that's one of my strong attributes. Mentally, I'm really strong. I don't think there's anyone in the world of darts that's as strong mentally as me. Do you know what I mean? 12 months ago, and the way I've battled to change my life and my family's life, it didn't let things bother me. Didn't let people who were playing or pundits or people that put me down bother me. And you know, once again, I think it was proved to everyone that I'm pretty good.